The boxing community is eagerly awaiting the match, viewing it as a potential wake-up call for the now-fighting former YouTube sensation. However, there are still a lot of unsolved questions about the fight's viability. Joe Rogan predicts that Paul will suffer a death blow from Tyson. The obvious age difference between the two is unavoidable. Even with his youthful looks and promising boxing career, Jake Paul is nothing in comparison to Mike Tyson. The multimillionaire podcaster claims that even at his old age, Tyson still has the knockout power to defeat any opponent in his path. The Mike Tyson bout against Marvis Frazier is my favorite because it was televised on ABC Wide World of Sports before Tyson won the title. Joe Frazier, who had been talking about Tyson, had his son take on the man because he thought Tyson would have prevailed if they had faced each other when he was at his peak.
Prime, where he was fucking terrifying. He was so fast, and he would do angles, and he was bobbing and weaving. You couldn't hit him, and he was just coming at you. And he was young. He was 20 years old at the time. He couldn't be stopped. No one had the solution. And I submit that Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson that won the title against Trevor Berbick, the Mike Tyson that beat Larry Holmes, I think that Mike Tyson is the best heavyweight of all time. I don't think anybody fucks with him. It just, he didn't maintain that form, and he wound up losing to Buster Douglas. And, you know, I look at fighters when they're in their absolute...
The battle was fought. Rogan said he didn't care that Tyson was 58 years old, stressing that he was still, according to Rogan. Mike Tyson claimed that his trainer is Rafael Cordo, the leader of Kings and a legendary figure in mixed martial arts. Rafael, a renowned trainer, holds the MS for Tyson while he executes powerful strikes, proving that Tyson is still able to inflict serious harm. When Tyson was at his best, he could round corners, move quickly, and attack without holding back. He was only 20 years old at the time, and no one knew how to stop him. Nevertheless, I believe...
You had to go on your little menopause break and postpone the fight, so yeah. What about that, dog? I was ready before. You needed a little break. Your tummy hurt? Your tummy hurt still?
I feel a lot better now. I feel a lot better.
Were you truly sick, or were you a little nervous about getting in the ring with Jake Paul?
I was terrified. I was terrified.
I brought this deal to this old-ass motherfucker. We signed the contract with Netflix, and I brought him the deal. So, you're welcome, my son. I'm gonna discipline you like a son. So shut the fuck up with all that need this, need that. We brought you the deal, and remember that too.
That Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson who defeated Trevor Berbick, is still capable of doing a great deal of damage. In my opinion, Mike Tyson is the greatest heavyweight of all time. Nobody can compare to him. He could not hold his form and lost to Buster Douglas, which is why I only watch boxers at the very top of their game. Rogan went on to claim that Tyson benefited from a variety of medicinal approaches, such as hormone replacement therapy, electrical muscle stimulation, and state-of-the-art vitamin regimens. He added that Tyson trained with cutting-edge tools in preparation for his fight with Roy.
He has not lost everything.
But he's lost some, but coming from the best, he's now like maybe just normal, right?
He's still not normal, but he's still like a professional heavyweight boxer. He's still terrifying.
No, I'm not saying he's not, but I'm just saying even coming off the best, I still think he wins. Coming off.
It's hard to say because you never bet against a 27-year-old fighting a 58-year-old.
What I have in my brain and I can't get out is that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's also his mind. You know, like Mike Tyson's mind has switched over into war. Like he was doing this interview and someone said to him, he goes, you look like you're in your 20s. Like, what are you doing? He goes, I just eat raw meat. He's like, eating raw meat. He goes, you're eating raw meat? He goes, yeah, I'm eating raw meat. He goes, because that's what I'm going to eat when I fight. I'm going to eat him. It's raw meat.
Yeah. See,
I was like, Jesus Christ. He's in this fucking mode. He's in that God of War mode. And that he's still got that in him. And I'm telling you, if you keep giving that guy hormones and you keep giving that
Jones. Rogan asserted that despite Tyson's age of 58, he remains capable of causing significant harm. He suggested that if Jake Paul were to face Tyson in the ring and witness Tyson's bobbing and weaving, he would have a moment of realization, thinking to himself, "Oh my God, that's really Mike Tyson lost everything. You see him hit those pads. He has not lost everything, but he's lost some, but coming from the best, he's now like maybe just normal, right? He's still not normal, but he's still like a professional heavyweight boxer. He's still terrifying. No, I'm not saying he's not, but I'm just saying even coming off the best, I still think he wins you coming off. It's hard to say because you never bet on against a 27-year-old fighting a 58-year-old. Get I just what I have in my brain and I can't get out is that, you know what I'm saying, like it's also his mind. You know, like Mike Tyson's mind has switched over into war, like he was doing this interview.
Chance in hell that Jake Paul would survive against the Mike Tyson that beat Marvis Frazier. You ever watch that fight?
Yeah.
That's my favorite Mike Tyson fight, because that was Mike Tyson before he won the title. It was ABC Wide World of Sports, and Joe Frazier had been talking shit about Tyson, that if he was in his prime, he'd beat Tyson. And so he had his son fight Tyson, and it was an execution. It was an
And someone said to him, he goes, you look like you're in your 20s, like what are you doing? He goes, I just eat raw meat. He not eating raw meat. He goes, you're eating raw meat. He goes, yeah, I'm eating raw meat. He goes, because that's what I'm going to eat when I fight. I'm going to eat him. It's raw meat, yeah. I was like, Jesus Christ, he's in this __ mode. He's in that God of War mode, and that he's still got that in him. And I'm telling you, if you keep giving that guy hormones, and you keep giving that guy supplements, and he's constantly training. On the other hand, ever since Jake Paul entered the world of professional boxing, since his much-awaited bout with Mike Tyson is quickly approaching, there have been speculations that he uses steroids. In addition to the doctors who have chimed in, several boxers have expressed disdain for Jake's initial decision to challenge Tyson. Given Iron Mike's current health, many in the combat sports world have expressed concern about him and questioned whether entering the ring at this time in his life was the appropriate move. On August 6, former mixed martial arts opponent Dylan Dennis brought up Paul's potential use of steroids as an additional factor. Dennis posted a picture of herself that clearly showed pimples. Jake captioned the photo, saying, "Steroids are bad, kids." The image is really strange, according to New York doctor Dr. Stuart Pfizer. According to Pfizer, who talked with the Daily Mail, using steroids can cause hormonal imbalances that can lead to hair loss and acne, as well as damage to the skin's integrity and an increased risk of injury. Nutritionist and sports performance expert Tom Codlin also voiced his thoughts, suggesting that the disturbed child would have a reason to take medicines in order to enhance his performance. He used his TKO victory over Mike Perry as an example. After that, he went back to the ring for an exhibition match that finished in a draw with fellow legend Roy Jones Jr. Paul spoke what he wanted to say, since Tyson insisted on the bout being a professional battle once the event was officially confirmed. Furthermore, Mike Tyson expressed his desire to overcome Jake Paul, and UFC fighter Michael Chandler concurred that the bout between the two is significant. Because of Paul's 30-year age gap, concerns about Tyson's performance persist even after the fight was postponed for November 15. Despite these issues, Chandler is expecting an exciting match at Dallas's A&T Stadium. Originally scheduled for July 20th, Tyson was forced to reschedule the fight due to an ulcer flare-up that interfered with his training. After defeating Mike Perry, a man he weighed around 20 pounds more than and was roughly 4 inches taller than, Jake Paul is now up against Mike Tyson, a man 30 years older than him. Tyson is roughly 60 years old, while Jake is around 30. Chandler revealed to Lucky Block that he is unsure of when he will fight in the UFC again. Chandler's upcoming fight has no specific date because Dana White has declared that a possible 2024 clash with Conor McGregor will not happen. "I love Mike Tyson," he declared. "Even if watching Mike Tyson lose is really entertaining and doesn't take boxing seriously, nobody wants to watch it happen. But if you fight night, you and I will watch because everyone wants to witness Mike Tyson take down Jake Paul. Famous multi-weight world champion Roy Jones Jr. has strongly advised Jake Paul not to take on Mike Tyson in the ring because of the difficult task at hand. When asked about the fight in an interview with Shane Mosley, Jones immediately stated that Tyson was the toughest hitter he had ever encountered. Jones asserted that Tyson remains the strongest puncher he has ever come across, despite being 57 or 58 years old. He hit my chin for the first time, and I felt like a mule had kicked me in the chest. While the bout was officially declared a draw, many onlookers and punch counts insisted Tyson had won. The tournament proved that exciting matches between former competitors could still capture the interest of spectators, and it was warmly received. Jones's words had a big impact, especially on Jake. Paul and Tyson are scheduled to engage in a professional bout in November, but their 30-year age difference has drawn a lot of criticism, particularly given the fight's laxer rules. Paul has committed to bulking up for the game. In Jones' opinion, this is both essential and not optimal. Jones stated that it may be quite fascinating if he was at 230. Since Mike will close the distance between them too quickly, Jake would fight close to him. Though I thought I could avoid him, I'm better at avoiding others than I was avoiding him. Jake believes that his increased muscle mass will be enough to drive Tyson back and keep him at a distance, even though he may not be able to completely avoid him. It would be difficult to stay away from Tyson, Jake realized. Jones also warned Jake that Paul might not have enough strength to hold off Tyson. Jones brushed off the subject of whether Paul's youth would give him an edge over Tyson or if Tyson's growing years would force him to slow down. We'll just have to wait and see what happens when the conflict gets closer. Such considerations do not adequately capture the contest's realism. Tyson isn't as adept at going backward as he is at moving ahead, so it's a good strategy to force him to back off. But you've never been hit by a blow quite like his. The anticipation for the much-anticipated meeting is heightened by Jones's views. Thanks to leaked film of fighters Mike Tyson and Jake Paul sparring, fans can now get an exclusive look inside their training regimens and fighting styles. The more Tyson and Paul spar, the more people are looking forward to their official match. Fans are more eager than ever to watch these two athletes compete against one another.